Coming up in today's episode.
We are starting with our food tour.
And we are starting with the famous fish sandwich.
Not for me, it's very fishy.
Oh my god, this is amazing. This is amazing. The chicken, the chops.
The one thing that's really showing up the whole time, which is so cool, is the mosques are everywhere. But let's just turn, then you'll see another mosque, another mosque, and with another mosque. So it's literally everywhere. It's so beautiful. Now, first off, we went to the Blue Mosque, but it was not as cool as we thought it would be. It was actually a bit of a disappointment.
And then finally we were on board back.
Oh, so we thought. Bum bum bum, because now something happened.
We're Quentin and Yeni, two guys trying to visit 40 countries before we turn 40.
We're taking the world on by trying to explore different countries, cultures, food, and by being as adventurous as possible.
We decided to film all of this for our future selves to look back on for one day when we are older. So let's go on a Kiwi travel adventure.
Hello. We are back. Here we go. We are on our way to Turkey, Istanbul. So as we arrived to Istanbul, we had a beautiful bird's eye view. It was absolutely spectacular because you could basically see where the Asian and the European sides connect with the bridge as well, and you started seeing all the various different mosques from there. But it was truly beautiful to see how we arrived, and then from there on we landed, and then we went obviously through immigration. It was a beautiful airport, truly, but we will explore that later in the next video. And then we needed to head towards the train station, so we got the Istanbul card, got to the train station, hopped onto the train, which was very efficient. After we hopped off the train, we needed to get onto the bus, and then obviously from the bus we started heading towards our hotel, but this also took a while. So basically to get from the airport right up to our hotel took about an hour and a half with public transport. So, but yes, what the prices are concerned, we did that because public transport costed us only about 30 Rand, but doing it with a taxi would have been 700 Rand. So it was a no-brainer to save money. And then yes, we had some beautiful views as we were driving to our hotel, and then we finally arrived. Hello, we have just arrived in Istanbul. We are super excited. We are at the My Boutique Hotel. So we are right on the top floor, so we've got some awesome views. This is the biggest room, so this is great. So let's start on over on this side. So first off, we have our bathroom in here. So if you come on in, then we've got the toilet, of course, over there. And then obviously on this side over here, we've got the shower over here. Cool. So yes, and now you will see we've got some kitchness going on, heavy kitsch. We call it Istanbul kitchness. And this is the bed or the boudoir with its mirroring and very interesting background. All classic kitchness, and then we've got a little seat over here as well. So you can just rest over here, and then we can have some breakfast here in the morning. We've got TV over there together with a very much needed aircon. It is quite humid at this stage. And then we've actually got a bit of a view, which is really beautiful. So let's have a look at this view. It is stunning of Istanbul. So cool at this stage, love it. We just had to get a Red Bull. It is, what time is it now? 6:30?
Yeah, 6:30.
Quarter, 6:30. So yeah, we are quickly about to explore, so we don't have much time. And just check there, there's the Galata Tower, which is so cool, and you can see it from our room. And yeah, we're quickly going to go and grab some dinner and we're starting our food tour, which we are very excited about. And then, yeah, we're just going to enjoy it. We had to quickly get Red Bull because we are a little bit tired, but we need the energy because we don't have a lot of time here. The one thing we quickly have to talk about as well is the awesome transport. Okay, well, I know we are walking right now because it's only like a 10-minute walk to where we are going. But like the bus system, everything works on the Istanbul card, which is absolutely awesome. So you get the train, the tram and everything. So that's how we got here, and it's cheap. It's like, what, 7 rand, 10 lira per trip, which is great. We just quickly had to stop on our way to where we're about to go and have the famous fish burger. But on the way there, the one thing that's really showing up the whole time, which is so cool, is the mosques are everywhere. The Turkish mosque. Okay, well, obviously we are in Turkey, so it makes sense. But like in for real, just check behind us there. But let's just turn, then you'll see another mosque, and with another mosque. So it's literally everywhere. It's so beautiful. We are starting our food tour.
And we are starting with the famous fish sandwich. So here goes the first bite. You're not gonna like it.
Is that fishy? Oh, it smells very fishy. Not for me, it's very fishy. Next up on our street food tour, we've got some corn that you can decide either if you want it to be cooked or fried, or barbecued or whatever. And then we've got chestnuts roasting on an open fire, which we've never had before. Let's try this. So let's try the chestnuts roasted. That's what it looks like. It's not what you think it would taste like. It's just like interesting. Next up, we're trying some corn. Definitely better than the fish and the chestnuts. It's cool. It tastes like it does in South Africa. So let's try the pide at Bambi Cafe. It's 50 years old, so it must be something. This is amazing. The chicken, the chops, everything in here, the way it is grilled. Here, right behind me. The chicken is fine. It's brilliant. Fresh, fruit, some potatoes, some jam. It's wonderful. What are you having?
We are having Islak. It's a wheat burger. Here we go.
This is nice. It's very beefy, but this is, I think, the taste we've wanted all night long.
Yeah, and this is proper.
This is awesome, yo. Let's try the famous baklava. It's like one flavor starting and then another one and then another one. And it's not actually so sweet.
It isn't sweet at all.
And this one has pistachio on it and it's really not sweet. This is our first one, but not the last one.
Definitely not the last.
So after we were done with our food tour, we obviously saw the Yeni Cami mosque, and then we started heading on our way back towards the hotel. So yes, by the end of the day, we were extremely tired. Good morning.
It's a new day in the workroom, and we are on our way hiking up the hill to the beautiful and glorious mosque, which we don't know what the name is.
Süleymaniye, something like that. We'll leave it in the description down below. Yeah, so it's a rainy morning, as you can see. But we decided to switch the program up because we don't want to go to Hagia Sophia and Blue Mosque with it being rainy, because we want some beautiful pictures. I think we've just arrived, so let's start the day. Woo-hoo. And then we finally arrived at the Süleymaniye Mosque. This was truly beautiful. This is also one of the biggest mosques, and also interesting fact, this is also one of the highest mosques in Istanbul. So we started just on the outside of it. It was raining a little bit, but it was beautiful to see all of the grass plains around it. And then together with that, we started walking in towards the courtyard side of it to also see what that looks like. Luckily, because we were so early, there weren't a lot of people. I think there was like one tour group coming in, but the majority of it we could shoot without people, which was truly beautiful.
Now, as per usual, when you enter a mosque, you need to remove your footwear and you need to be covered. Females from head to toe, men, knees need to be covered. And we made our way inside. Now, the first glimpse that you get is absolutely stunning because they have these high raised ceilings and these absolutely beautiful rounded lights that would just come all the way down, reaching your head tip.
And then the rain started clearing up, so we headed back out. And then we obviously, which makes this mosque iconic, is obviously, like I said, the views, because it's right on the mountaintop. You could see the incredible views here of Istanbul. This is obviously the views more specifically of the European side of it, so you could see towards the Galata Tower, so that was cool. And then it started raining and we needed to start going towards the Grand Bazaar to get some cover.
As we headed to the Grand Bazaar, it was quite difficulty trying to navigate our way there, but we finally arrived there, and as we made our way closer to the Grand Bazaar, we saw that everything was closed and most of the Grand Bazaar was closed as well. So we just looked at the shops that were open and we scouted for some sneakers and some shirts and to see what they have there, and then also just try out some local food. Okay, so Quentin is going to try this local thing that we can see everywhere because I'm always the guinea pig. It's, what do you call this?
Ayran.
Ayran. There you go, Quentin.
It's it's sourish, but it tastes familiar. It's almost like a Greek yogurt kind of a thing. It's like a drinkable Greek yogurt kind of a thing, just a little bit more sour.
Yogurt. It's yogurt.
Oh yeah, but just a plain flavor.
A plain one, yeah.
And then from there on, yes, we took the tram to go to the Galata Tower. So the thing with the Galata Tower is you have to start right at the bottom. Now the Galata Tower is also on a hill, so that's how Istanbul is. It's very hilly, so it's basically walking up and down. But the tram only stops at the bottom, so you need to walk up. So we started walking and then we went into a little curio shop. Vianney got some things there, and then we finally got to it and we got closer and we finally saw the Galata Tower.
And to top it all off, we had the perfect spot in the famous restaurant where we would look upon the beautiful Galata Tower.
We are having a Turkish coffee for the first time. I think the perfect place to do it is here at the Galata Tower, which is where we are sitting. So it's the perfect place to have it. Even though it's raining, so the rain is on and off and on and off, but we have decided to make the best out of the situation. So we are continuing. I'm not sure how to drink this, but this is the Turkish coffee. Oh, it's very strong and it smells better. It tastes like PISS. I don't know how to explain it, yeah.
Oh my god, this is amazing. After our cheesecake experience, we walked around the Galata Tower, walked around the streets there, and just enjoyed and took in everything that was just so absolutely beautiful. Along the cobble streets, we made our way to Istiklal Street.
So, as we arrived to Istiklal Street, it was just around the corner of the Galata Tower. We started literally right at the bottom and started working our way right through up to the top. So, as we were walking, it's basically the famous shopping street of Istanbul. So, it's got all of the famous shops and so forth, all your Zara's, H&M's, those kind of things. But they also have these little red carts where you can get some summits, which is exactly what we did.
So we are in Istiklal Street. As you can see, it is busy, but it is a Sunday. Everything else is closed actually in frickin' Istanbul,
Yes,
except for this street. So we are happy to be here. Finally, we've got some summits. Just here behind Vienna, there you go. We've got some summits. We've got one with cheese and one with Nutella. Let's try this.
1, 2, 3, go.
I've got the cheese, Vienna has got the Nutella.
The bread is divine.
So nice. So this is literally, I think, 10 rand for one. 10, 15 rand, somewhere there.
I think this will be better salt. It really is nice.
10 seconds later.
Oh, very nice. You're gonna like that one, and I prefer this one. I prefer this one. We know each other. They're salty and here's sweet.
That's not the case usually. Just as one.
But then it started raining, like and pouring, so we were looking for shelter again. But this time we didn't find a mosque, we found a Catholic church.
And this church was absolutely stunning. It was called St. Anthony's Church, and as you enter, it was this absolutely beautiful serenade, Gregorian music, singing hymns in the background. But this was more of a tourist attraction church because the lights were used to amplify every part of the architecture. You would find the windows, the ceilings, the pillars, everything as it would be in a Catholic church, but just a little bit turned up. But it was so incredibly beautiful having to see a church so adorned and appreciated in the way it was. And right after our beautiful visit at the church, we were hungry from praying, so we opted for the next pit stop, which was a small cafe which offered us something local, which was borek.
So we are still busy, and we have not stopped. Vienna found something new. It's called borek. So let's see.
So we have potato, meat, and cheese. So let's try it.
Was that cheese? Let me try. This is the potato one. It's so flavorful, but yeah, it's like a very thin pastry, almost like a roti croissant kind of a thing. Approved.
So from this little cafe, we walked further up Istiklal Street until we reached the northernmost tip of Istiklal Street, where we finally got to Taksim Square. Now this was beautiful to see because you have a beautiful view of the Taksim Mosque as well, together with here where the plane is. We also just sat there for a bit, took a bit of a rest, but you've got all these flags that are there. Now the flag of Turkey is basically everywhere in the country. And then from there on, we also went past the War Memorial, which was interesting to see, but then we started getting hungry, so we headed towards a restaurant.
Now this restaurant was situated just across this beautiful mosque, and we were able to view it during the sunset. And at this beautiful restaurant, we enjoyed more of the local Turkish cuisine.
We are trying the laksh moon, something like that, which is a kind of a meat pizza, but you have to eat it in a certain way. So let's see what this is like. So basically you take a piece of it and then you roll it up and then you eat it. It is a nice meat appetizer. It's actually flavorful. And the meat is wonderful.
After our beautiful sunset experience, trying out local Turkish cuisine, we headed back to our hotel with a bus. Hi fam.
It is the end of, technically I guess, day 2 of Istanbul. It was a rainy day, it was a wet day. It was a beautiful day. It felt like we were in Europe the whole day. The streets, everything was just beautiful. The food, I felt like I overate myself, to be honest. But it was such an awesome day. The mosques again are everywhere. It's just absolutely incredible.
They really are fantastic, and they are everywhere. The food here is really wonderful. The bread base of everything, it's amazing. It's so wonderful to try it every time. And we've tried all of the things. We love pide, and we're gonna the Turkish pizza, and we're gonna have that.
See you on the flip side of all of that. Ciao. And so we are back in Istanbul. We just arrived from Izmir, but this was quite some hectic traveling day because the flight got delayed. It took us how long did it take us to get here from the airport? 2 hours?
Yeah.
About 2 hours. Traffic was hectic, so we had to shift our plans a bit. So we're not doing exactly what we wanted, so we are on our way to the Egyptian Bazaar. What time is it now? It's close to 6. And Egyptian Bazaar closes 7:30, and we haven't seen it properly yet. So we want to go there and then check it out and see what that is like. And then we'll see what the rest of the evening brings.
Here we go.
And we are here in the streets of our little neighborhood. This is what it looks like in our neighborhood. And we are on the hunt for some baklava.
And at that moment we found the perfect baklava shop where all the locals kept on shopping, so we just knew this is the place to get the baklava, and it was super cheap. It was the cheapest we could see from all of the places. We went all over Turkey at this time. It was only about 200 rand, or I think a little bit less even, per kilo. So yes, that was awesome, but most delicious baklava. And then after that we walked down to the Egyptian Bazaar, which was a spice bazaar, more specifically back in the day, and it was funded obviously, as the name says, by the Egyptians. Now the Turkish flags are basically outside of each and every single shop, which is beautiful to see. The roof is extremely beautiful, so really such an awesome place to see. And they have different shops selling an array of Turkish delights that you can see everywhere. They also have tea sets, spices obviously, and then obviously there's a lot of baklava, and then some other stalls sold some clothing. There were also some dried fruits that you could see everywhere, as well as sweets, and there was a bunch of leather shops as well.
From the bazaar, we made our way to the streets in search of street food, and we passed the Yeni Cami mosque, and it was just wonderful just to take it all in as the call of prayer started again. And we just took in the beauty of the mosque as night began to fall. And our first treat of the evening was a donut and a wet burger, and we even tried the local lokma. And now we are trying the famous lokma. Here we go. Wow. It's like a croissant cook system.
You think that it's gonna taste like a normal donut, but it's not. It's like a syrup kind of a donut.
After that, we made our way over the Galata Bridge and we enjoyed the views along the way, and we had a pit stop for some Turkish ice cream. Thereafter, we made our way to the Galata Tower where we would try the Sebastian cheesecake once more. We tried it at the second Varela restaurant, which is just down the street, where you also had a beautiful view of the Galata Tower. Now, Quentin did enjoy the cheesecake, but I still was not convinced that the Sebastian cheesecake was the best in the world. And after our second taste of that, we walked back down from the Galata Tower to our hotel because we had to wake up very early the next morning.
So we woke up very early this morning for the two main attractions here in Istanbul, so Blue Mosque and Ayran Pier. And there it is, there's the first one. We sort of hoped that there wouldn't be as many people, but we made a great mistake. It's 7 o'clock in the morning and it's busy already. Maybe it's just busy with locals that are going to pray, I'm guessing, because it is almost pray time, so maybe it's that. But we just want a couple of shots with not as many people, so hopefully we can get there.
Now, first off, we went to the Blue Mosque, which is highly awaited because obviously there's a big hype around it. So first off, on our way to the Blue Mosque, we decided to get our normal breakfast for the last time, which is simmet. So we got a cheese simmet as well as a Nutella simmet, and then we walked and we waited outside of the Blue Mosque. The line went very quick. There were only about 10 people in front of us, which was absolutely awesome. We couldn't go in with just our shorts like in all of the other mosques. We had to wear these sarong kind of things, so we had that, and then we were inside the mosque, but it was not as cool as we thought it would be. It was actually a bit of a disappointment. It's not as blue because that's obviously where the name comes from. They say it's from all of the blue tiles, and we thought it would be a bit more blue, but it is just not. So it was actually quite disappointing for us. Yes, the detail is there and it's beautiful, and the chandeliers are there and it's beautiful, and the carpet, but it's just not as grandeur as we thought it would be, especially with the hype that is around it. However, the outside is truly beautiful. I do love the outside of it. So obviously the name comes from all the tiles on the inside and not from the look on the outside, so it's not blue on the outside, but I thought that the outside was better than what it was on the inside. That's just our personal opinion, and yes, we are very happy that we went early though, because you'll see later on why.
And after our visit at the Blue Mosque, we hopped down to the Hagia Sophia, and here we had to wait in the longest queue ever. This was seriously the main tourist attraction, and it really was our first time being trapped in something that housed so many visitors. But the queue did go very fast, and we made our way through to the very front. We were part of the very first group of people that went in for the morning. We went through security checks and then we entered. Now this is really, again, once we got inside, the biggest tourist attraction in Turkey. It's similar to what you would find in Paris with the Eiffel Tower, but we completely understand why, because it is incredible. The richness of the color and the texture of everything and the angels' faces that were unveiled, it was just so gripping. Even though it was packed with people, you still could just feel the essence of the holiness that was there. We had a few people that were praying because it's still an active mosque, and how you would see the old and the new and how they would collide and how the Catholicism would take over and then the Islamic traits will meet and then take over, and it was just a beautiful flow over from the one religion to the other with the beautiful drawings, and the chandeliers were just immaculate. It was just so royal and rich inside.
Now, a little history lesson of the Hagia Sophia. Obviously, at first it was built as a Catholic church, and then it went over and it was taken over during the Ottoman Empire, and it became a Muslim mosque, obviously. But that's what makes this church so special, because obviously in a mosque you are not allowed to have faces, but as this is a tourist attraction and it was a museum at once before it became a mosque again, is they started excavating some of it, so there's actually faces in this mosque. So after our visit there, we went to the Topkapi Palace, which is just behind the Hagia Sophia. We just went there for a quick photo just to go and have a look there, and this is where the Sultan stayed back in the day. And then Vianney needed the toilet, so we made our way back to the Blue Mosque, because that's the only, ridiculously enough, that's the only public toilet that was close by where all of these tourists are, so we had to go all the way back to the Blue Mosque.
Guys, as you can see, it is full with people, and this is the reason why we woke up early this morning, to make sure that we could get a perfect unrushed view.
And this is the other queue. So this morning, that's the entrance over there. We were literally standing right over here and we got in. This is the other mosque, the Blue Mosque queue. And that's why you come early. Just check there. And Vianney is fixing his hair like he does the whole trip through. Yeah, check this line, check this line, check this line. All the way around. Actually, that's not where the line ends. So we were standing there filming the video showing you this side, but it comes out this way, this way, this way, this way, and then all the way. Wow.
So after this, we just walked around the Hippodrome, where there's the old Egyptian obelisk that you can see, which is now right in the middle. And this is obviously where they had all of their kart races back in the day. And then after the mosque visit,
we went to the very first mall in the world, which opened in 1461, and this is the Grand Bazaar, which is still one of the biggest mall complexes in the entire world. Now, it was packed with an endless sea of people shopping and feasting on Turkish delight. The decoration on the ceiling this time was more minimalistic, but it was still effective and effortlessly beautiful. But the people were just too many and it was too busy, so we decided to go elsewhere, and we took a tram to Balat. Now, Balat is known for its vibrantly multicolored buildings and traditional European architectural finishings. We lived our best Instagram life here, and we had the most beautiful moments in a normal street, and we explored the rest of the neighborhood, and we made it to the center, which was again filled with tourists taking photos, making videos, and it made it quite impossible and to enjoy, because everywhere there was just people and you couldn't take in the beautiful decor. The cafe and restaurant owners were also quite frustrated, and they'd stop people from entering their establishments if the people only came in to take photos or videos, so they didn't allow us to go in. It was also difficult to navigate your way through to the different parts of this beautiful colored street and this vibrancy and the decoration, and you couldn't enjoy the lifestyle because it was packed and it wasn't an easy move from one place to the other. So we headed back to our hotel, grabbed all our stuff, and we hopped on the bus, and we arrived at the airport where we had our last pide, a mixed pide at Pide M, and we also indulged in kunefe for the very, very last time. And then finally we were on board back to our hometown, South Africa.
or so we thought. bum, bum, because now something happened. First, our flight was slightly delayed. It was delayed for 30 minutes at first, and then after they said it was delayed for another 30 minutes, of which after that they taxied us out to the workstation, and they said they can't start up the plane, they have to do it manually. They tried again, so after sitting on the plane for an hour and a half, nothing happened, and they said, "We are so sorry to let you know, guys, that your flight is cancelled. Please don't worry, the people and the staff at the airport will assist you. There's no need to worry." That's what we thought, until we met the chaos. So at first we needed to hand in our passports because they needed to make copies of it so that we can get back into the country, but chaos erupted because there were hundreds of people. There was another flight that was cancelled, not only ours, and chaos erupted. People started fainting. I just started laughing. I thought it was very funny. I just took in the moment of all of this. We needed to go back through passport control, so all of this took, I think, another hour or two. We finally got back through passport control. Then we needed to collect our bags, and that was just such a big mess because all of the bags were just placed on top of each other. What a mess. And then they said, okay, all of us now need to run because we need to get to the bus station. So all of us ran, everybody obviously trying to be first, ran again. Now we finally got to the bus station. They said, no, just wait, the buses are on their way, just wait a half an hour. And so we waited a half an hour, but nothing happened. So we just started from over there, waiting like, almost an hour. Came to this side, waited another half an hour. We are here now, probably going to wait another half an hour because we need to get there for the buses, because they are checking each and every single person individually. And then we finally boarded the bus only at 1:20 in the morning. We were still waiting. Now at this time we were very frustrated because this was now about 4 hours, I think, after we were supposed to have taken off already. Then it was another hour's drive back towards Istanbul to get a hotel, which was just such a big mess because they couldn't really tell us where we would stay or what the accommodation would be like. But we finally arrived there just for more mess to come along and more chaos, because now we needed to stand and wait in even more queues because they needed to check us in. Obviously there's a lot of people, and then the Emirates staff also started with their nonsense because they said, okay, all of you have to be out by 11 o'clock, but we received a message on our app, on our Emirates app, that our flight would only be the next evening around about 11 o'clock at night. Now obviously that means we only need to be at the airport by like 9 o'clock. So we were just like, I'm sorry, we are not going to do this. We are not leaving the next morning at 11 because that means we'll have to sit at the airport the whole day. And they said, no, there's going to be a flight at 3. So we thought, okay, whatever. So we just stayed there in the morning. We had some breakfast, and then they said, okay, they will only make an arrangement for us at the hotel. So we stayed there, we slept, which was great. And then eventually they kept us there, and we only left with the taxi. So we took the taxi around about 6-7 o'clock. We took the taxi and we arrived back, and then when we got to board the plane, we met all of the other South Africans that left 11 o'clock in the morning that stayed with us. So they were there at the airport from 11 o'clock in the morning because of the lies that people told. But yes, in the end we boarded and we made our way back to South Africa. So yes, that brings our conclusion of Turkey.
But until then, we'll see you
In Bangkok!
next time on Kiwi Travel Adventures.
We are a bit shocked by some of the prices since we were here last. Some of these prices are almost triple, yes. Let's see what's happening here at the Chinatown. We are basically actually just looking for one thing. Is it nice?
Oh my god.
Vienna, there's some scorpion behind you.
I think we need another one for the road. This is the one, guys.